Wait, where the hell is no! In this video, I'll be looking at 2 tier lists from 2 different websites. So I'll be looking and reacting to these tier lists, and then I'll give my input and my opinions on it. Do I agree with the placements or do I disagree with the placements? And I'll be linking both the tier lists in the description below. And the first one I'll be looking at will be Pride1. But before I start, I want to say that these tier lists are usually based on the current content in the current update. So right now is update 1.2. So we need to take that in mind. So the tiers would be different for different updates. So the tier list will give a general idea of how good a character is, but it's not be all and end all. Because by the end of the day, what matters more is how you build the character, how you use the character, and your team composition, and also how much you like the playstyle of the character, and how much you like the character, of course. So all of this really depends. But the tier list will give you a general idea on who is good. So let's start with the first one, with Pride1. So there's 4 tier lists actually. So there's 2 global and 2 CN. I'll be looking at the global because I cover mainly global and I don't really play the CN version. And I'll be only checking the bossing category because the bossing category is the end game. General is only for the story, but you can read more from here. I won't be reading them, you can pause and read them if you want, or you can just go to the website and see for yourself. So now let's look at it. I haven't looked at this since the update, so 1 week I haven't looked at this. Let's see. I don't even know Yusuke. Yusuke is T0. That makes a lot of sense actually. So let's see. Let's start with DPS first. So DPS, the strongest one is Yui and Yusuke. Makes a lot of sense because right now the content in the game is catered towards these 2. SOS is these 2, literally. Electric and Ice, right? And then the guild boss is Ice and Curse. So Yusuke, of course, T0. They are really good for the current content. So Yui is a single target, and then Fox is AoE. Both are pretty fun to use actually. I really like using them, even though I don't have them. So I only get to use them by borrowing from my guild. And then we have T0.5, Ren and Ryuji. Okay, Ren, 100%. I can definitely understand this because Ren is the guild boss is currently cursed, right? And Joker has always been good since the day he released, so he's a really solid character. Ryuji, honestly, I cannot say too much about him because I don't have him, but I know he's also really good. I don't know, 0.5, I don't know, that may be a bit too high. He's even higher than An. That is very interesting because I feel like An is better overall than Ryuji, so I don't know about that. Honestly, it's just one place difference, so it doesn't really make much difference anyways. So let's see, next one is An. So An at T1, Threat T1, Motoha and T1 also. Okay, I can agree with An and Threat. Both are pretty good. Threat is really good actually, it's really solid. His damage is quite insane. Of course, it's only single target, but he does the job quite well. An, AoE fire damage dealer, really good also. If you pair her with Lufel, she is pretty good with the burn and the fire and stuff, right? But Motoha in T1 is interesting. It could be because of the current content, which is Electric Weak with the SOS, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like SOS, I think using Joker might be even better than using Closer here. So T1 a bit high, so I don't know how I feel about this one. Then we have Kotone. Kotone is sadly T2, even though we have Ice Weak, but Kotone is only single target, so not really suited for the current content, which is AoE, right? And then we have Toshiyasumi or what's his name already? Oh my god, I actually forgot his name. Honestly, I haven't used him since the first week of the game release. T3, yeah, sure, because not only is he not that good, he's also super complicated to use. He has like a bunch of like Burst of Hate, Burst of like Sonnet of Fate, Burst of Healing. It's like 3 different Burst of Passion. It's so confusing to use, I don't even understand honestly. And his damage definitely not that good. I only use him because I don't have Joker at the time, and I find it quite difficult to use him, and he's not that good also. So sadly, T3. And then now we look at Sustain. Sustain is basically the shields and the healers. So Minami and Yukimi on the first tier. Minami, definitely agree. She's definitely the best healer in the game right now, best sustain in the game right now. You can put her in literally any team and she will heal a lot, increase your max HP also. And then Yukimi, I think she's here because Fox is here. Because Fox is good, so she's good. At this point of time, Yukimi is the best in stock for Yusuke. which is why she's here. She is really good for this game with the shields and defense buff. Very useful. Lufel and Shun, I can also agree with these two here. Though maybe I'll put Shun in T1, but T0.5 I think it's fine. Both are really good. Lufel, really good with Ahn, or not even Ahn, even someone else also. Because Lufel is just quite a consistent healer. Not as good as Minami of course, but pretty good. And being able to buff attack with Starfire also. So a good healer is when you can heal and also do a little bit of buff, which Minami and Lufel both can do. So you can definitely buff with Starfire, which is an attack buff to your ally, and his highlight can also increase party's attack, which is really solid. So not only healing but buffing as well. For Shun is not only just a tanker, he can tank a lot of HP. He can debuff with skill 2, he can debuff with gun also. Again, a good sustain is when you can both tank, both heal, and also provide something to the team, either by debuffing or buffing, which all of them can do. Okay, maybe Yukimi not really. No, Yukimi can. No, correction, Yukimi can. Skill 3, I forgot. Her skill 3 here can increase party's damage by 4.9% for each Gavel stack, which you can stack up to 5 times. So that's a 24% or something. And then our worst healer, Morgana. Very unfortunate. Morgana by himself is not bad, but the problem with him is that, like I said, if you want to be the best sustain, not only do you actually have to do the sustain, which is to heal or to get shield or tank or whatever, you also need to provide something to the team. Morgana doesn't do anything. The only 2 things that he can do that I can think of is inflicting wind swept with skill 1 and also critting with skill 3, which are kinda And I guess, okay, maybe 3 things. Another thing is revive, which can be useful, right? But usually if you build a team well, your team wouldn't die as much. And if your sustain is good, your team wouldn't even die in the first place, right? So it's like kinda contradicting, right? So Morgana is not as good as a healer, and he needs to revive. The other sustains don't need to revive because they are good at their job. Even Morgana's healing is not that consistent, honestly, because his healing depends on the crit stat. Because there's a chance to crit using his healing, so it's not consistent. So sometimes you'll heal only a few hundred or something, but then if you crit, you can easily heal full. But then it's very luck based, so it's not that consistent. Like this one, right? If you crit, you will heal 24% more, which is luck based. When it comes to life and death, you don't wanna count on luck, right? Okay, the next category is support. So basically the buffers, or I guess debuffers also. So I guess the buffers here. First one is Liao Ling, which is Rin. I do not have her, but she is a pretty good debuffer, right? Basically skill 1 can decrease defense, skill 3 can increase damage taken by foes also, so very useful. The only thing that kinda sucks is that the inflicting forget, because status elements in this game is not as good because some enemies are immune to them, which is unfortunate. So next one is Haruna and Leon. Putting Riddle here, I don't know, man. I would put her maybe 1 tier lower. She is good, but I think Leon is just better. Riddle is not bad because Riddle's buff is actually not bad. But the thing with her is that she's a bit teammate reliant, because your number of stacks depend on your teammate. Basically, you have to use skill 1 first, which will grant affection to your party, and then this makes it so that if your teammates deal damage, Riddle will get 1 stack of this thing. Okay, she'll get 1 stack. So that means if your teammate don't attack, you will not get the stack, which is bad, because you want the stack for your skill 3. Because the more stacks of this Childish Heart you have, the more attack you will buff. So that means you need your characters, you need your teammates to attack. If your teammates are also buffers or healers, then they won't attack, and then that means your Childish Heart stack is going to be low, which means your buff is going to be low. And that also directly affects her highlight, because her highlight depends on this thing called Mystery, which is pretty much kinda like your Childish Heart, because it's kinda correlated. So when you get Childish Heart, you also get Mystery. If your Childish Heart is low, your Mystery will also be low, which means that your highlight will buff less. So that's why I feel like she's less consistent compared to Leon, and I think Leon is better. Leon is just so good, and he's a freaking force. Like, if you don't have him built yet, please build him. He's gonna be really good. Even in the Chinese version, you can see that he's still T1 there, which means that he is still really good. So just build him if you have him, which I'm pretty sure you do. So Leon is just solid, and I'll quickly tell you why. So Leon can buff quite a number of things. But before we talk about the buffing, his skill 2 will give you Power of Friendship stack, which you need this for your skill 3 because you can stack out to 2 times. So if you have 2 stacks, you will increase 40%, 20% for 1 stack. So 40% attack increase is really good. And then 40% plus 19.5% here also. So that's a lot of buff. That's almost 60% buff. To get the power of friendship and to get 2 stacks of this is very easy. You can just use skill 2. Skill 2 will give you 1 and then his passive will give another one. Not passive, his A0 will give another one. So if you fall below 75%, right, which is easy because your skill 2 reduces the HP by 30%. So using skill 2 you'll always guarantee 2 stacks of friendship. Then your next turn can use skill 3 to buff. Because your teammate will have 2 stacks already, right? As for his highlight will give 2 stacks to someone, to an ally. Can even heal also, a bit of healing. And not just that, he can also give a bit of shield here from skill 2 and then the shield will be converted to HP 1 turn later. So he can give a character a bit of health, a bit of shield. He can heal a bit with highlight also. And of course increase the attack, which is also quite useful. And besides that, crit damage also by 45%. That's a lot when you have 2 stacks, which is easy to do like I said because just use skill 2, right? This is a big buff. 45% crit damage. And then don't even get me started with his awareness. If you are being an A6, you increase crit damage by 25% when the ally is below 60%. So that's really good. And then we have Kiyoshi, Ki is good with An. Okay, I like how all the buffers are T1 and above. It's really good with An because he can burn, which An needs to do more damage to inflict a technical, right? And he can also increase fire damage, right? With his highlight, okay, increase fire damage taken by 30%, which is quite high. And then his A6, when you have 10 stacks of Chosen One, extra fire damage. So that's really nice. So he's actually a really good teammate for An and Lufeo also. You can put them 3 together. So he is quite useful. At least right now, he'll definitely be power crap. Over time, he is now T5 in CN, which is quite expected. Right now, he's really good for the fire team. The next one is Moko. Moko, I'm surprised she's T1. I was expecting lower. But Tomoko is really... She has a lot of sad things going for her, I guess. Mainly because her buffs actually consume some stacks, the green leaf stacks, which kinda sucks because you have to use skill 1 once every few turns to get it back. So that means for 1 turn you will be wasting a turn by buffing herself technically. So that's very sad. And then she can also inflict the sleep, which is quite useless because a lot of enemies are immune to sleep. A lot of stuff revolves around her sleep also. Like for example, if you inflict sleep, your skill 3 will increase damage taken by 29%. If no sleep, then it's 14%, it's half, only half. So that's really sad. But yeah, so far the tier lists are not that bad actually, I feel. Okay, I think Morgana can go T1. I feel like it's a bit harsh to have one empty cap here. I think T1. Then Motoha, I'm not sure about Motoha or Ryuji. And then Haruna, I will put it 1 down. Everything else I think okay, maybe An can go, maybe An and Ryuji can swap or something. But overall not that bad. Okay, not done yet, we're still on Navigator. So Miyu above Kayo. Interesting. Okay, maybe, okay, honestly, I think it's mainly because of freaking Yusuke, because Yusuke needs Miyu. So I think that she's above. Because personally I feel like Kayo is a bit more useful because I guess I'm more of an offensive player, so I usually like attack buff. But we only have 2 navigators at this moment, so you need both of them anyways. Because Okian can buff attack, buff damage basically. Miyu can give shields, increase defense, can also do a bit of buffing, attack buffing from skill 3 also. So both are pretty good, I don't really have much to say. The next one is Lufeo.net. Lufeo.net is quite a cool website. I recommend you to check it out. They have a lot of detailed stuff like Persona, recommended skills even, which is really nice. So let's look at the tier list. I'm curious to see. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. Oh crap, did I break the website? Oh no, what happened? I think I broke the website. T0, oh, so they separate AoE and single target. Oh, they rank it based on the roles. Okay, interesting. So not different from Primal. Primal is only 4 categories, right? So DPS they group together the single and multi-target. And sustain they group together the guardian and medic. Support they group together the debuffer and buffer, forgot the name. Navigator is navigator, of course. Okay, so this one, Joker higher than Fox. Okay, let me read the tier criteria. I'm not very sure actually. This is the first time I see the tier list. Indeed, video standards may vary across. Tier lists are always subjective. Even my opinions are subjective, okay? You can disagree with me, no problem. It's all based on my opinion and my perspective, of course. Okay, assume all level 80, everything okay, makes sense. We take comparative content in mind, okay, sure. So I assume it's order for the current content. If it's the current content, I don't know why... Oops. I don't know why Yusuke is... Crap. I don't know why Yusuke is below Joker. I feel like they should swap. Because right now the content is clearly favoring Yusuke, also SOS and Cute Boss. Okay, but if you're talking about pure damage, doesn't matter what's the content then. Okay, I think Joker makes sense to be higher. Yusuke is a bit RNG because of his cannot review. Okay, let me just view the stuff from Pride 1. Because I like the style more than Lufeon.net, if I'm being honest. It's easier to read. But don't get me wrong, Lufeon.net is quite useful also, especially for the persona requirement skill like I mentioned. It's useful. But reading information I prefer Pride 1. Because it's better contrast between the background and the text, I think. So the thing with Yusuke is random because the counter attack is only 65% chance here. It's random, and then you can only do this counter attack once every other turn. So it's very, I guess, turn reliant. Depends on the number of turns. But counter attack does do good damage, but just not as consistent, I feel. And it also depends on the number of enemies there is. So if there's only like 2 enemies, then he will do less damage because he will trigger less counter attacks. But for Joker of course, really solid. Can even do single target if it's single target. Skill 1, skill 3, and then highlight. Good damage. Arn T1, I agree. Pretty solid also. Arn is a great character. Obviously not as good as the limited ones, but quite good. If you are over at A6, then probably in T0. So T3 closer, I can agree also. Closer is not that good. She's okay. The damage is just not good enough. Single target is Yuya, I agree. Skull is T2? Damn. That's a little bit harsh. Like, I mean, I did say that... Oops, okay, this is the global tier list. I did say that Skull can go to T1 here. But T2... Okay, let me see. So there's T0 until T4, T0 until T5. There has a T5. But still though, T2? That's crazy. And Flora in T3? Nah, I don't agree with that, man. Nah. Cannot. I disagree. I would at least put Flora in T2, maybe even T1, honestly. But T3 in the same tier as this guy, Sepia. I remember his name, Sepia. Finally, took me a while to remember, but what the freak? No, more than T4. Okay, I mean, okay, fine. One isn't that good, but T4 is also a little bit harsh. I feel T3, these two probably T3. Floret at least T2, Ryuji T1, maybe even T0.5. That's crazy. It's quite surprising also. They don't have any reason. They don't have any reason. I'm curious to know why. But I definitely don't agree with these two. T0, Dion, I agree. Riddle T1, okay. Moko T3 also okay. Just keep in mind that all the 4 stars are A6. Okay. Even the Pride 1 is also all A6. This one I don't have a problem. Rin 0.5 I don't have a problem with that. Key T3. I mean, okay, to be fair, Key is only useful for art. So okay, fine. T3 I can accept. Shun is T0.5. Yukimi T2. I think these two also okay. Maybe Yukimi can buff a bit to T1 because Yukimi is also reliant on Fox. The only team she's good in is Fox's team. Minami T0, okay. Wait, where the hell is Lufel? No! What? What the frick? Wait a minute. That's crazy. Oh my god. T4 on the last tier. And lower than Morgana is something, but T4. Nah. This one T1 at least. Or even 0.5. Minami, of course. Oh, it's A1 also. Oh, the put as A1. Interesting. But Morgana, Tyon, and Lufel and Lufel T4. No, bro, no. I heavily disagree. I'm not gonna explain again because I will explain why Lufel is good. Holy crap, that's insane actually. I look at this and I wait, where the hell is Lufel? And I scroll down, holy crap. Okay, Navigator. Okay, this one is putting Okian above Miyu or Papian. Okay. Honestly, these two, I thought it doesn't really matter honestly. The only two navigators, both are very good. I don't really have anything to say about this one. But you know what? Let's just for fun. I'm gonna do my own tier list for the current meta. I think I can do it right with this website. Okay, I can. Jonker T0, Yusuke T0, T0, T. Okay, just kidding. Okay, properly. Let's talk about mainly the content of this update, because every update changes, right? Then I have to agree with Pride1. Yusuke above Joker. Maybe even both T0. Okay, the next AoE is An. I will also put T1, because again, right now there's no Fire Week, so I think T1 is fair. Then what's the other AoE? Wait, is that the only AoE characters? Oh, Motoha T3, I agree with the fair one, I think. So should I put T3 here? Oh yeah, I need to put is okay. You know what? I'm lazy. Just know that all the 4 stars are A6. Okay, all the 5 stars are A0. Okay, single target Yui. Definitely T0 because of Electric Week stage. Ryuji, at least a T1 I would say. And then who else? This one, okay, you know how about this? Okay, Ryuji 0.5 and Thread T1. Thread is very good, okay. He does good damage. So next one is this one is a buffer. So Dion T0 definitely. And then I would say Riddle T1. And then who else? Oh, I forgot about Mon. I get T3. Just put T3. Wait, we only two. Oh, Moko T2. General. Okay, maybe T3. She's not really useful, honestly. Okay, next up is the debuffer. Oh, I forgot about this guy. This guy also T3. The next one is the debuffer. Rin, I'll put it to T0 because Joker is good. Then Rin is good, obviously. And then we don't really have any other debuffers anymore. Key, I'll put maybe T2, maybe T1 actually. Again, An is also quite good, so it really depends. Yeah, and that's all. And then now we have the Guardian, the Shielders. This one I can put it to T1, T0.5. So T0, I would say, I wouldn't say put T0 because T0 is like very good character for every team. Something like that. That's my definition of the best tier, right? Like for example, Dion, really good in every team. Rin, maybe not every team, but she's a really good debuffer. So you can put her in other teams also if you want. This one, you only use it for Fox. I'll put it to T0.5. Shun, honestly, maybe even higher than Yukimi. Shun is just more useful generally. But okay, you know, I'll put the same. Okay, maybe I'll put in front. Okay, I think she is definitely better than Yukimi. More versatile. Bow healer, obviously. Like this. Okay, let's make it fair, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then this one I'll put Puppet in front for 2 reasons. Because I thought of something. 2 reasons, okay? So, first reason is that she's better because Yusuke is good. And the other reason is that she's useful against the freaking boss, the Mother Ramen boss. Which is stupid as hell. Nothing is stupid. And the celebrity is nice. So, that's the reason why I'll put T0. Because this tier list is based on the current content of the game. Okay, I'll be excluding the story. So, the events, challenge, the SOS, Guild Boss, the current update, basically. This is my own tier list for this update. I think I'll do this every update because it's quite fun to talk about the meta and stuff. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I guess I can compare the 2 tier lists. Okay, so this is Dufel.net. This is my tier list. Okay, so thank you guys for watching.